Hello and welcome to the Tyrant In Training podcast. I am the sycophantic host, Kevin Ryan. This podcast has a tyrannical guest on each week to be the ruler of their own country. Today's guest is Director Will Nash. Here are some tyrannical ramblings from this madman.
What I will say about the whistleblowers is that they actually were, in fact, blowing whistles, which was the reason that I blew them. If there's a zombie apocalypse, I will escape and steal a poo and a poo. Yeah, because I'm Willy the Dick. I'm a tyrant. It's hard to ban beige because some people like wearing it. Willy the Dick is very proud of himself right now that that's where he came out with.
You can listen to this podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcast and wherever you're listening to it now if it's not any of them. And you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, anywhere online at Kev Ryan Person. And yeah, enjoy the show. Will Nash, I do have questions here.
How do you spell Will?
Will in hell. Wait, is there actually? That's something I do ask guests as well. Is there cursing allowed on your island?
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah.
So we're cursing through this podcast, or are we?
Yeah. Fuck's sake is the Latin
go to
Latin motto that's underneath the badge of my island. Fuck's sake.
Fuck's sake.
Not
in an aggressive way.
It's one word. Fuck's sake.
Do you know what? It's brilliant, and I feel like we'll be best of friends. I instinctively wrote that down as one word. Yeah, see that?
It's because you've seen the badge.
That's wait a minute. The badge? I thought you meant one of these behind you, the posters. Like, which?
Oh no,
not a badge.
Can you imagine if I got an award and it was like the fuck's sake award?
Fuck's sake award. Yeah, that's not.
Because he just won't give up. Fuck's sake, just give it to him.
That's not a grade. Oh, hey, check out my new short film. It won the fuck's sake award. Unless it's like a gory horror.
Yeah, and like every time someone dies, they're bereft with like the amount of people that they've just seen die, and they're like, oh fuck's sake, someone else.
Wait, do you mean the character or the audience?
Everyone, both. Like the character and audience are in it together. There's a look from the protagonists to the audience every now and again of like, fuck's sake, here we go, Milton's dead. Can't even get the milk delivered. This is dire, this zombie apocalypse.
We can really feel what the main character feels in that story. Yeah. Because he just directly looks at the camera going, see this? Okay, so that's going to be that's your slogan for your island.
That's my Latin motto underneath. I remember on my school badge, was something like primo factor prima or prima factor prima or whatever it was. It was first things first, which was like one of those really we need a motto for the school. Well, we'll put it in Latin and it'll be really vague so we can apply any meaning in the day to that. If it was an all boys Catholic school, and if they're all playing up, if all the boys are playing up, we can tell sit down and concentrate and prima factor prima.
Oh my god, would they actually say that?
They would like the odd teacher who I do remember trying to like wedge that in, and you'd just be more confused of like.
But what age are you at this point?
This is secondary school, so this is like
14, 15.
Yeah, where were we? 11 till 16. Yeah. Especially the first year, I remember hearing it a few times from teachers and just being very confused. Like, are we going to learn Latin? Like, is this like a heads up of like get your Latin heads on?
There was 40-year-old teachers who were like sitting in the teacher's office going, "How do we reach these 12-year-olds? Latin. We need to drop in some Latin."
That's what we did.
And then that'll get them. By the way,
what's funny was my younger two brothers went to a different secondary school and had to do Latin. So they probably would have fared better at my school than theirs. They probably wouldn't have understood what's going on.
Why did they have to what was it like? Was it like a priest school? Like, who uses Latin now?
My brother's school was run by brothers.
Yeah. It have to be, because
we had one priest, but we didn't have. That was it. I think we were like, well, you need at least one to make it a Catholic school. We'll have one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like my secondary school was like, let's just hit the bare minimum and just get them out after 5 years, and then we can all have a longer summer holiday after that. Let's just wheel them out.
Do you want to ban Latin in your country, by the way? No,
so
we can't.
Yeah,
I can't if you have the motto.
They'll probably. What's his name? Jacob Rees-Mogg is probably trying to bring it back in, isn't he?
Oh God, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
That and
he just speaks Latin to his kids at home all day, and they speak fluent back to him.
That and the plague for peasant.
Yeah. The peasant plague.
Bring out your dead type of thing.
Yeah.
And Latin. I want to see if I can find the translation of "fuck's sake" into Latin.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Oh,
Do you? I was going to say. So I was recently in Ireland last summer,
Oh yes.
and it's the first time. No, well, not the first time, but one of the most recent times. And I've noticed on all the road signs, you've got everything in English and then in Celtic,
Yeah.
Irish. Like, and I was in the taxi and I said to the taxi driver, like, "Oh, do you understand that?" And he went, "No."
No.
He said, no one knows it. I said,
No.
"Oh, did you do it at school and stuff?" And he went, yeah, we did it at school, but no one does it. Because working in Wales, a lot of people that I was working with were trying to bring a lot of the Welsh language back and speak. And I was like, oh, that's a really great sense of pride and stuff. And that's a really hard thing. And I thought, oh, Ireland must be doing the same thing if it's on the roadside. And everyone was just like, nah.
I think, see what happens with, and I mean, again, I don't have kids and I haven't been in school for many a year, but I believe nothing in Ireland changes. The thing that happened, at least when I was in school, was when you started learning Irish, they would say, okay, kids, you only speak English, so we're going to do Irish class. Now, here are some poems. And you'd be like, and you would just recite these poems like line by line. And everyone's going, I haven't a clue what any of this means. And instantly you're like, and I hate it. So I have no interest in learning. So like there was kids coming out learning French and German and not a clue of Irish. But if you go to the west of Ireland, I think if you go to the west of Ireland, there'll be parts of like little towns and stuff where they do speak, like they can speak Irish. And so it's the Gaeltacht is kind of the area. And I know, when I was in secondary school, some people from my class would go there during the summer or something. But like they were going up there to go to a disco. Like they weren't. You used to learn Irish for like 3 hours a day or something, and you'd have to speak Irish in the class, no English. Sure, then they go to the disco and hook up with the hottest guy or girl there. That's all they were doing.
Could you ever get away with just being that quiet person in the class that didn't really want to talk for those 3 hours, or they just bully you into talking?
See, I don't know. It didn't really work for me because when I went there, but when I went to do my oral exam in my leaving cert. So if anyone's from America or anything else, leaving cert would be basically when you're finished like high school or whatever.
Yeah.
That's America. But before university or college. And I went into my Irish oral exam where you have to have an interview with someone for 5 minutes speaking Irish. At one point, I told her I played soccer. I don't know the context of that. I told her I played soccer. And then I think she asked, why don't I play soccer anymore? Yeah. And I said I broke my foot. That'll do. That'll tell you everything about me.
The things that like people come out with in those exams where I remember coming out my French oral exam and thinking I lied a lot. Like I just made up a lot of lies just to answer those questions and get through it. And was then worried of like, is there like a dishonesty section of this oral test where they go, well, his French was perfect, but he lied.
So he's a goddamn liar.
Yeah, 50% on that.
But you try and learn a few sentences.
Yeah.
And then go in and hope that you can steer the conversation.
Yeah.
Like, this is
what
much
sports do you like? Well, I went travelling to France last.
Yeah. Taught me c'est France. Like, is I'm in France.
Yeah.
Can't hear it. That's also how this podcast, so I will be steering you into as many things.
I'll be fluent in Irish by the end of it.
I do have good news though. Fuck's sake is in Latin. Well, according to Google.
Nice.
So it will be down on your crest as Irumabo Causa.
Irumabo Causa. Nice.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, it'll do.
That can go under the crest.
I found some slogans from towns and stuff in America, but a few of them are quite good. I'll give them credit. Some of them are, Gettysburg.
Okay, yeah.
Well, the Gettysburg in South Dakota has a slogan that says "Where the battle wasn't," which is fair play to them for admitting it. There's a town called Peculiar in Missouri.
Nice. And
its slogan is "Where the odds are with you." Right? I can go with that. As do you know San Andreas in California? It was the Rock movie. Their slogan is "It's not our fault."
That's good.
So for anyone who's into not meteorology. So what's the one about earthquakes? Anyone who's into earthquakes like that.
Is San Andreas' crest now the Rock in a helicopter?
It should be, with a machine gun.
Wasn't his wife hanging out the helicopter for most of that film?
Hanging out in?
I've just got this image of her like holding onto his arm, dangling out the side of the helicopter while he's trying to find his daughter who's drowning in a building, in a high-rise building.
God, I mean,
it was just People
Oh, you're
just
right.
threw ideas in a bucket and just went, and now we'll write it. Like,
Did he not jump from? Oh no, he didn't jump from a helicopter. He jumped from like a crane into the building to get in there in the first place, didn't he? I think that was.
oh yeah,
I think he
yeah.
jumped, but it was a
There
massive jump.
there's three films that are really similar with The Rock in a city where stuff's going on. There's one with the giant gorilla.
Rampage.
That's the one, which is
Yeah,
like his
yeah,
mate.
yeah.
But that's all in a high-rise building city area. And then there's
Wait,
another one where his daughter is stuck up in a high-rise building that's on fire, and he has to climb at the outside of it. And
that's the one I'm thinking. Sky, is that not just called Skyscraper? And then that's the one I'm thinking of.
yeah.
Yeah, I got mixed up with you there. Yeah, I think you're
Yeah.
right. San Andreas.
But
then is the one.
they all just kind of like merge into one. And he's probably wearing the same shirt in all of them as well. He's like, I'll get the
probably
shirt
them
out.
all.
We're doing another one.
I actually believe like they're all the same movie. It's just they're color graded a bit different, and the gorilla was added in post. Pretty much.
That was like Ryan Reynolds, and he then decided he wanted to cut him out of the contract, so they put a gorilla CGI.
They put a gorilla into it, and they made what's it, Red Notice? They made that.
Yeah, and then he came back. He was like, I'm really fucked off that you put a gorilla on me.
Yeah,
you know, we had a contract. And
I'll do one scene.
We'll do one more.
Yeah, I'll do one scene that establishes the rest of me as a heist. That's it.
Yeah.
By the way, there is another town I saw. It probably has Sandra Bullock and George Clooney in their flag because it's called Gravity in Iowa, and their slogan is "We're down to earth."
That's brilliant.
Yeah, I would give these towns credit. I hope it's the one guy who's coming up with the slogans.
Yeah,
they're just giving him a list of names.
That is amazing. There was an influencer recently who I saw on TikTok who didn't believe in gravity. Like was just against it. She was like, "This gravity thing's all a hoax, isn't it?" Which is brilliant to watch that people who commit themselves to such things.
Do you think she's telling the truth, or she's doing it for engage? You know what I mean?
I really hope she believes herself.
Yeah, that's the thing. You hope it.
Yeah.
It's so, and it's easy to think, no, she has to be doing it for. Because I guess the other side of that is just depressing to think about.
Yeah. No, I want the depressing side where she believes it. You know?
I was very excited a few years ago. I went to America for the first time on a short holiday. I was very happy, very, very happy to go. I went to LA. First American person I met was very nice, very friendly. And then the second person was very nice, but also a flat earther who said he was in the NASA space program, and you don't know, man, they're lying. You don't know. And I was like, oh, fantastic. This is great. Very friendly people. And insane.
They used to have a Facebook page, didn't they? The Flat Earthers Global Society.
Around the world, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like, read that slowly.
You gotta change your name.
Do you have any ideas for what your name, I'll repeat that, and I'll get rid of it in post. Do you have any ideas what name, I've screwed up again, what would you name your country?
So I was having a think about this, of like what my country would be first and then what to name it afterwards, because I thought that might be easier. So I've always had this thing of like, if there's a zombie apocalypse, I will escape and steal a poo and a poo. I will go and steal a poo. I will
a quick one, and then quick one, and then
just throw it at the zombies. A P&O, it's the same letters. P&O cruise liner. I'll go and steal one of those, and then you're kind of self-sufficient in the ocean, away from everything.
Right.
And then I thought, well, that could be applicable to this. Like, I could maybe like take one and then go up to like another cruise liner and get another one and just kind of like JimmyRig all together. So you've got like 6 cruise liners and it's a massive floating country. And then I was thinking, what are you going to call it? And then I thought, well, if I'm going to JimmyRig them together, it can be a JimmyRig.
JimmyRig country. The island is, it's not even an island. The JimmyRig. Okay,
the
that
JimmyRig.
is
We're flying
interesting.
A JimmyRig.
So you're going to have 6. I'll say 6.
6, yeah, and I'll get one from each of the main fleets. You know, so you'll have the Princess one and the Celebrity one and P&O and Santander probably do one. Not Santander. What's the old people's holiday scheme?
Stena Line.
Stena Line.
Is that it?
No. That's the stairlift, isn't it? I
have absolutely no idea. I feel like I have no knowledge of this. But
Old people holiday. See what it comes up with. AGK. There's probably people listening to this screaming. Begins with an S. It'll come back to me. Holidays for over 70s. Where are we? Now I've got to find it.
Gotcha.
Silver. No. It's like it's one of those names. It's like a running joke the whole time. People kind of go on these.
I am failing to Google. Oh, okay, wait.
Saga.
Sa- like
Saga
what's
is
it?
the name of it.
I've
Yeah,
never
Saga
heard
Holidays. Oh, have you not? Oh,
never, but
it's something that you always, it will happen. You hit your 60s and you go on a Saga holiday with other 60-year-olds.
that didn't sound too
And
bad. Well, I mean, yeah, it doesn't sound too bad. But
hopefully yeah.
so okay, so you have JimmyRig, right? Is your country
Yeah.
technically an island? Maybe for tax purposes, it's written down as an island, but it's
tax evasion.
It's 6 Starger cruise ships.
Yeah,
that
massive
are
cruise liners all JimmyRig together.
in like a circle, but one in the middle.
Yeah, or maybe more like a rectangle. So you've got 3 at the front, 3 at the back. Just so it's more of like a big, barrage of cruise liners. It will be anchored down, so it wouldn't be moving too much.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. So you don't move around. So where would you anchor around? I'll give you a bit of a hand here, actually, because I like using this laptop now. Where do you think you would settle then?
Probably somewhere. I'd go for like a decent.
Here, I have a map for you and everything.
Here we are. So maybe Mediterranean, because you wouldn't want the seas getting too rough. I don't know how crazy rough the seas can get in the Mediterranean. Maybe between like Italy and Greece.
Oh, so what is that? Yes, what is that called? But yes, right in between it. So like near
so good weather.
Croatia, Sarajevo, or would you go down by Athens? Like we'll say the boot of it.
Yeah, where you are there.
Oh yeah,
between Sicily, the boot, and Greece.
Oh, and then you have Malta is kind of close as well. Yeah.
I feel like you probably get some pretty hot summers down there, but generally throughout the rest of the year, like fairly decent weather. And then being a ship convoy, you can, if it does get really bad down there, then you can just move off.
Oh, you can anchor in. I say if you go a bit north, we'll say up into here where the mouse is now. And I know people are only listening to the audio, so no reference here. But yeah.
Like when there's like a UN meeting and I have to attend to it, I will then move the island closer. So it's then it's just a quick walk up to Belgium from there, isn't it?
I say quick Germany. Walk. Yeah, it'd be a fair walk, but you'd be closer to Switzerland anyway. Switzerland.
Yeah.
I always get there.
I'd have a little moon buggy thing that would come off and just take me up.
Perfect. You see? Yeah. You could. Okay, so you're gonna put JimmyRig near. I'm gonna say in like a triangle of Italy, Greece, and Malta in kind of the center there. That's south of Rome, actually, might help. But if you have 6 ships, I just have a quick look there. It seems like usually I would say 10 million people live on an island. This is a little bit different. You have these big ships. Now, I just had a quick look. It seems like the average for a cruise ship is like 3,000 people. So I'm going to give you maybe 18,000 people live on JimmyRig.
That's cool.
So that's all right.
What we would say on the Wikipedia page is 18,000 people live there, but that would be a falsified number. So no one would really know how many people are living there.
Oh, okay. I mean, you can be a bit quiet here, and don't worry, my listeners are good. But how many people are actually living here?
Probably like 50.
Really?
Yeah, it's a luxurious island. I don't want to be we've got the staff to look after everyone.
Okay, but how many staff do you have? Okay, you have 100. Okay,
I have like 100 staff, and then like 50, because I probably would know a lot of the people on the island pretty well. And if I ever got annoyed with them, then it would just be a small little dinghy back off to the mainland.
But how are we affording food and everything to run? Like, are these wealthy 50 people?
Initially.
Okay.
I would say I'd say initially they're fairly wealthy, and then I'd steal their wealth.
Yeah.
And then boot them off. And also I would maybe, there'd be some sort of tax evasion aspect of it, so that people would leave their money there, but actually what I'd do is just spend it, and then, just delete their bank accounts. And because it's an illegal system, they probably wouldn't want to pipe up too much about the fact that they just illegally put their money somewhere.
By the way, just to let you know, and again, you're the boss here, I'm only an advisor, it doesn't have to be highly illegal. You can go a legal route and say this is legal for some reason. I won't get into the details.
We can make it legal on my island.
So for some reason, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos have gone onto these ships. You've literally booted them into the ocean and kept their wealth.
Yeah.
But I mean, are you replacing...
But not all... I would say I probably wouldn't keep all of their wealth, because I'd want them to still be a little bit in favour of me. And I feel like...
Oh, okay.
If I kept 40...
But you've just kicked them into the water. They're probably not very in favour.
No, they'd be a bit upset by it, but also there'd be a big media scandal as well of what were they doing on the island. And so they want to keep their heads down low and not talk about it too much. And also, there's a bit of grievance. They've just lost 30% of their own money to me.
Okay.
And at the same time, in the world of corruptness,
Hmm.
people still seem to come back to each other even if they've fallen out with each other, don't they?
That's true.
So
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
sure they'll come back for another visit, and I'll just take another 30% off them to keep everything afloat.
But so these 50 people aren't necessarily always on your island. They're always coming and going when they fall out with you and you take their money and
Well,
they come back.
if they play their cards right, they'll stay, and if they start dicking around, then that's it. It's a boot off the side.
Boot off the side, literal boot, or do you do it personally, or?
I would have like a giant. Yeah, we would fashion this giant Timberland that sits at the back of the cruise liners.
Right. Oh, you're not wearing it.
And it would swing and just launch, and then there'd be a dinghy approximately roughly where they should land in the sea. So they might have a little swim to it, or they might actually land in it. But yeah, it'll be the boot off the island.
So what is that activated by, like a button? Do you press a big button? Is it nice?
Yeah, up in the cockpit.
Yeah, in the cabin
of the main central cruise liner.
Big button.
Yeah, there'll be a big button. A bit like Graham Norton's chair.
Yes. Yeah. You'd have a lever instead.
The lever would be good. Yeah, that would be probably more satisfying because you've got that motion of the swing of the boot and the lever.
Just on that though, if you were going to have a lever, I said that really weird. A lever.
A lever for the lever.
A lever if you have a lever for the lever. What I think, that is a brilliant idea. What I think though is the lever should have a bit of weight to it. Like it shouldn't be one of those that are just really like. I don't think you get a satisfaction until you like pull it, and then it clunks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It wouldn't be like a prop one. I'd have it rigged to it as well.
But something you can actually.
But I can get some actual, get an actual feeling out of it as I pull it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not so. You said it's like actually hooked up to it. It's not something that you're like straining to pull at.
No, there'll be loads of cogs along the way to kind of like a pulley system where it just weakens the effort at the other end.
Yeah,
but still enough that I get the satisfaction of jump.
Yeah, it's
as
like
the boot swings and goes off.
Because I was thinking, like, do you ever go into a theme park where you have to sit into the cars and drive?
Yeah.
And you know the way they'll have the gears. So sometimes it'll be an automatic, sometimes it'll be manual, where you have to move the gears yourself. And sometimes they're really satisfying, but then otherwise they're really loose, so you have to get the right one. But yeah, okay. I've just realised I was going to call you Will, but you are the leader of this JimmyRig. What is your official title?
So I was having a look at some other tyrants before it came on. And I think one of the top ones that came up was Ivan the Terrible, which that's always kind of tickled me anyway, in that like the word terrible at the end, it almost sounds like two older deers in a park complaining about their neighbour's kid. Like, isn't he
terrible? Yeah.
Well, he put the wrong bins out last night and I copied him, and it wasn't, he's a terrible kid.
Yeah.
And Ivan doesn't sound like the most threatening name either.
No, it doesn't.
But I did kind of like the kind of Ivan the Terrible. So I get a lot of people call me Willy instead of Will. So I'd probably call myself Willy the Dick, because I'd just be a bit of a dick on the island.
Oh, you are outwardly just like happy with that. Like, oh no, I'm being a dick. This is my island. I can be a dick.
In a lovely, charming way, but I could be a bit more of a dick. Yeah. So Willy the Dick, who runs the JimmyRig.
There's one of your crew has just mentioned to you that people are going around calling you Will the Richard. Is that okay? Or
yeah, no. Well, I think it would depend on who it was. If I found out it was like Elon or Bezos, then I'd be like, come on, guys. Like, you've already been pushing your luck.
It's
like, there's going to be a straw that breaks the camel's back here. If it's someone, because I think there'll be a general good level of hilarity over the island as well. Everyone's getting on with each other. So if it's done in a way that's meant to be a bit more cutting, then it's onto the boot. But if it's done as a light-hearted matter, then it's fine. Willy the Richard is quite funny.
Oh no, sorry, Willy the Richard, not even Willy the Richard. Yeah. All right. I mean, the Heinz family who makes the mustard, the person who's in charge of that, they are going around calling you William the Richard. Are they okay? They make good mustard.
No, they're getting the boot.
They're getting the boot. They
do, but we've got other food. We've got our food options. Yeah, we can switch different mustard providers. And also I feel like just puts them in their place of just learning. Yeah. Just because you make the mustard.
Okay,
so can easily can get a boot and we can switch mustard providers.
So what we'll put a stop to all that, but it seems like through the halls of these cruise ships, you can faintly hear William the Richard being echoed. I think rebels trying to
Yeah.
like a slow chant. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's their rallying cry. What
Yeah.
type of? Well, I mean, you're going to be living on the cruise ship, but do you have a throne room?
Definitely. Oh yeah. So you've probably got the pilot station at the top, and then I feel like just underneath will be this luxurious throne room.
Are we
A
talking
massive
classic throne room? Yeah.
faux. Yeah, but also I do quite like a bit of tack. Like I find that more entertaining than like I would rather have like a Casio watch than a Casio watch. Do you know what I mean? Like if the letters
Right.
are all mixed up, that entertains
Yeah.
me more than having a real Casio watch. So
Yeah.
the throne will be slightly tacky gold with red cushions. It will be on like a big stage, red
That's right.
carpet
So
stage,
you have steps up.
with some nice faux Roman pillars. Yeah, some steps up, some fake Roman pillars dotted around, busts of myself at different ages throughout my life, just dotted as you walk in, like either side of you as you walk past.
Now,
every time I've changed my haircut or grown my beard, it would be a new bust.
So any variation of you, there's a new bust to be made.
Yeah. And it's been 38 years, so there's a lot of busts.
Now, if you have the throne, you have the seat or the chair there. Is the stage how big is the stage compared to the chair? Like, is it dwarfing the chair that it feels very empty, or do you want to keep it not looking ridiculous?
No, it will be So it's a pretty big stage area. It's probably like a 60. Yeah, let's go ridiculous. Let's say it's like a 30 foot wide stage, and the chair is probably something Game of Thrones style chair, like that kind of. Maybe we'll go bigger than that, like double the size of the Game of Thrones chair.
Question: is the chair centered on the stage, or is it off center?
Definitely centered. Yeah, like I'm the center.
Oh, you couldn't handle off center, no?
Like perfectly. It would just piss me off. Like if I came over and found out that someone had, jokingly moved the chair to one side, thinking, "Oh, will I find this funny?" I'd be like, "No, that's on the, there's probably a terms and conditions as you arrive on the boat, and that'll be in
one of the main ones,
font 4 at the bottom." That's really hard to read. If you haven't read it, then you're off.
I remember that a few minutes ago I mentioned that this doesn't have to be a completely illegal JimmyRig. You seem to go down that path. And then you went, okay. And then said, right, so this is scandalous. So you went from illegal to scandalous. So speaking of which, your island of 50 people plus 100 crew, they are still part of your country. They all have a very high approval rating of you. They have to, basically. But there is a scandal about to break out involving you. They're going to find out about it. They're not going to be happy. I don't think you're going to get the boot, but they're just going to be a bit disappointed in you. Now, what scandal do they find out about?
It's going to drop my points.
What? Yes, it's going to drop your points, It's going to go from 100 to 94.
One scandal that I particularly enjoyed, where I can't remember how many, like 6-7 years ago, probably longer ago, the horse meat in the lasagnas. Do you remember that?
Oh, I remember
lasagnas, I think it was.
Yes.
Do you know, it exploded, and people were like, "Oh, I can't believe!" And it was the thing that I found funny with it was that people were eating meat. It was just a different animal this time, and I get that health and safety was the major concern, but I don't think people were worried about the health and safety aspect. When you chat to someone about the horse meat scandal, they were like the horses, and I was like, "But you're eating the cows," and this is really similar four-legged beast, so. And in some countries they'll eat horse and instead of cow. So that was the side of it that tickled me more with it, was that people were getting wound up by the horses, not by the health and safety side of it. That this different meat had gone through the system, what else has gone through, and all this stuff. So I'd love my scandal to be something of, maybe everyone thinks they've been eating pork sausages and actually they've been vegetarian sausages the whole time, and they've had this notion in their head that their diet and their rigmarole, that their well-being on the boat has been improving because they've been eating this certain species of pig. And actually, we've just been feeding them spinach sausages that have pig flavouring.
My day job often has vegan sausages, and I've refused to. So I'm fully on board with this one. Yeah.
Okay.
Vegan sausage gate. What your advisors asked, or what they suggested to you, was you may need to tackle this head on. So we do have a little news show that goes out every night. It's hosted by Anderson. Would you agree to appear on the show and explain, what's going on with Vegan Sausage Gate?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're okay with that?
Yeah, get my best suit out, dust it
Nice.
off. I'll go and have a chat. From years of watching politicians over here dodge questions, I feel like I've probably learnt enough from them to dodge questions.
I think the good old British political system is going to come in handy here.
Totally,
we're off to
yeah.
Anderson.
Yeah.
So we're here on the nightly news show on JimmyRig. I am Anderson, JimmyRig, and just ironically,
I've got a tie with pigs on it as well.
With pigs, like. Oh yes, because the sausages. Yes. Are you trying to intimidate or?
No, I'm trying to show my approval for pork sausages. I mean, I'm vegetarian myself, but I'm trying to show approval for pork sausages in this instance by wearing a pig tie. Oh,
okay. So, Willy the Dick, thank you for coming on to tonight's show. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. Well, thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Before we get into the latest bootings that we're all very happy to hear that you've taken money off rich people, we do have to deal with Vegan Sausage Gate. Now, a lot of people are very, very worried that they've been eating vegan sausages. It seems to have been found. A box of them were found on the first ship. Can you tell us why?
Well,
why has this happened?
I cannot confirm or deny that the box of vegan sausages that was found was originated from JimmyRig.
But I mean, we do have pictures here with you opening some of the crates with a big smile and a thumbs up, and the boxes do say vegan sausages, not pork sausages.
That was actually part of an advertising campaign for part of East London that were thoroughly enjoying those vegan sausages and wanted to see our association with it.
Right.
Seeing as we had recently had a financial tie to that area, so that photo was a PR photo moment for them. That was why I was smiling so much and with my thumbs up.
I see. And what about the surveillance footage where it showed you talking to Jeff Bezos saying, Jeff, before I boot you off this island, just know everyone else here, these bastards are going to be eating vegan sausages all day and night. Now, that did come out recently, your footage.
Look, there's a lot of surveillance footage of a lot of politicians, and a lot of this footage gets leaked without any full explanation of what's going on behind it. And I'll just
can you provide the explanation?
This happens a lot of the time, and
right. And can you provide the explanation behind that footage?
Look, I think what we should be concentrating on is the 6 people that were booted off the boat today, and not worry ourselves with these made up or not made up scandals around pork sausages, and just concentrate on the boot.
Now, these 6 people were the whistleblowers who provided evidence. Now, you're saying that's not connected at all to Vegan Sausage Gate.
No, and what I will say about the whistleblowers is that they actually were in fact blowing whistles, which was the reason that I blew them. I booted them off.
You what? Excuse me.
Constant whistle blowing.
Yes. So
they were constantly blowing whistles, and it was irksome. And a lot of people complaining about the whistle blowing going on. I hadn't heard it personally myself, but I just listened to the people and I reacted to that.
So they had nothing to do with them providing all this evidence and documents showing all these emails where you said we need more damn vegan sausages on this boat. Make sure no pigs are harmed.
No, they and in fact, I believe that 3 of them worked for Photoshop. So I think that's where some of this speculation came from, was them practicing their photoshopping skills, and a small joke of theirs that they started got out of hand.
I guess we do have to ask. This is obviously very difficult for your administration. This ever since this scandal has come out, has this been the worst day of your life?
Oh God, no.
Not at all.
I mean, I can't comment on what the worst day of my life is because my partner will kill me.
Oh, but, God, yes.
No, this has been a joyous day. We removed 6 people today. That's the highest number we've done in a day.
And can you confirm on the record that there will be no vegan sausage for people?
I cannot confirm or deny that something of this nature will be carrying on. We'll be speaking with our health ministers and our chef ministers later on in the week to see if we can get to the root of this problem.
How many chef ministers do you have?
We've got 2. We've got the head chef and a sous chef.
Fair enough. Okay, we'll continue on with the show. We do have to take a short break, so we do want to thank Willy the Dick for confronting this issue head on and making sure everyone is fine. Thank you very much, Willy the Dick.
And just like to remind everyone to buy the JimmyRig lottery tickets for Saturday evening as well.
Oh, what's the cash prize?
Of £6.
£6, lovely.
From last week. And £1 for every person who got booted off.
And you've won the preceding 40 lotteries, right? Will you be entering again?
Yeah, I'm the only one who's buying the ticket. So that's why I'm trying to encourage more people to buy the tickets.
Fair enough.
I think, and regardless of the fact that some people had been buying tickets and are saying that they had the winning numbers, these fabricated ticket sellers, they weren't official tickets that they bought.
Yeah, you need the
mine
ticket.
Was, because I printed it off my own computer.
We do appreciate that. We do have to announce that, yes, once again, people do have to buy the lottery ticket with the official stamp that you can only get from Willy the Dick if you want to win. So you can buy the tickets all you want. You need the stamp.
Stamp.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm generally out of the office quite a lot.
Well, you're going out opening crates and stuff. We do want to thank you, Willy the Dick, and we will go for a break. That is really well done. The advisors think you basically fronted up and you explained why you couldn't confirm or denied rumors, but you said everything's fine. Anderson did want to say to you before you left the studio.
I'm British, aren't I? I've watched British politicians since the 80s.
Yeah, some of the best ones. Yeah, some of the best ones. What Anderson wanted to ask was, the channel was going to do a little documentary on Willy the Dick. Some might say a bit of a propaganda piece. Some will say it's the absolute truth.
Yeah.
Either way, your citizens are going to believe whatever is written in this. So, what fantastical fact do you want Anderson to mention in the documentary about you, so everyone will buy it?
Well, I think I heard about the documentary that was planned. I'm quite busy during the days that they want to film, so we've already arranged. Ryan Gosling is coming over to stand in place for me. We've arranged for a beard and glasses as well for him. It's quite an easy matchup. So he'll be performing a lot of his own stunts. So swimming, great lengths, driving, beautiful cars. He'll be flying small private planes, and also showing off his Renaissance art skills.
Lovely.
So that will, hopefully all of those will bring people back in my favour.
Now, you just mentioned something there. I do have to ask. So you do have a road system on JimmyRig?
Yeah, one of the cruise liners is just a car park. It's a NCP car park.
I suppose you only have 50. Yeah, so
just,
the top floor is just a road.
Only on one. And then that whole section of that cruise liner is it's 8 floors of car park with ramps, so you can get from one floor to the next.
I mean, is there a lot of cars? That seems like more than 150 cars would fit there. Or I suppose.
So the parking is just on the bottom level, and then the rest is, if you're getting itchy feet and you haven't driven something for a while, there's a series of it's all plug-in electric as well. We're all very eco-friendly and very well.
Oh, lovely! Yes.
On the island, so you just plug it in and charge it up. It will, we take free electricity from solar power because I'm not spending a penny on getting someone else's electricity put on the boat. Yeah. And then you just have a whiz in the car for a bit until the juice runs out, and then it's up to you to get the car back.
Wait a minute, is there a racetrack there and everything?
Yeah, we had some of the Formula One advisors come in and build what they could for us in the area, so you could probably get to a top speed of 220 miles an hour on certain sections of the track.
Sweet. I did hear.
But you also need to be.
I did hear. Lewis Hamilton was.
He was over for a long weekend after it was first designed and built. He unfortunately then did get the boot because there was just some murmurings of him. He was being a bit unpleasant about the course, saying it wasn't practical or functioning, and that certain levels were against health and safety standards, and that people
the usual.
There's potential for people dying whilst racing on this. I just thought he was being sensationalist, just
pretentious.
Trying to get, most likely, the most ostentatious Formula One car I've ever seen in my life that he brought to that racetrack cruise liner. Which I felt just mocked the whole thing as opposed to embracing, inviting him over as a potential ambassador, and he just took the piss.
And didn't complain about people losing their lives. I fully agree. When you went...
Gonna kill anyone?
I do. Speaking of not allowing him on the island, is there anything mundane that you would ban on JimmyRig? Like any
boredom.
Normal thing that... What?
Yeah, boredom.
bored, so you can't be
if
bored.
anyone's feeling bored,
Yeah.
or there's an element of boredom, we just remove it, because boredom is a nasty seed that can grow and spread. And not to say that you can't spend a day doing nothing. That's different. That's a different thing. But the moment the boredom settles in, unless you actively seek out to rectify that or seek help from our boredom advice line, then you're off.
Question: Is it?
And that's an 0800 number that's available 3 hours a week.
Is it legal to witness paint drying?
If you're doing it in a way as a relaxing technique or some form of enjoyment, yeah. If it then becomes apparent that you are bored, then it's a different issue altogether, and that's when we really step in.
So on the topic of is watching paint dry boring, Willy the Dick is undecided. He could go either way.
It depends on the paint as well. I mean, if it's let's say you've popped to B&Q and you've brought some of their paint over onto my ship and you've painted something and you're waiting for that to dry and it's a particularly dull shade of beige, then you're encouraging boredom. And at that point, the forces that be will coming in and.
Are you banning beige as a concept, as a paint?
It's hard to ban beige because some people like wearing it in the winter, and some of those people have a lot of money, and we don't want to set a precedent of no beige at all because they won't come. However, if the beige lingers, then it's off. It's on the boot. So, the end of the boot, in fact, is painted beige just to highlight.
You should
the feelings of boredom.
So basically, if it's the summertime and you're wearing beige, that's fair enough. Actually, there was a suggestion that you could.
Yeah, you'll get pulled aside.
And just told you have one chance. There's a cat who's joining. If one of your advisors did suggest that maybe during the winter months you could provide a license, like a beige license, that if people did insist on wearing beige during the winter months, they can pay $200,000 for each item of clothing. Might bring in some money.
I think so. I think that could be something we could consider, as well as once they acquire a license, maybe they just keep out of everyone's sight. So you can wear beige in the privacy of your own camp.
That's quite nice. I do have 3 questions left. I did mean to ask you this earlier though. What is there any major franchise that you'd love to direct?
Any major franchise that I'd
love to direct or take part in?
To direct?
Yeah.
What, as Willy the Dick or as me?
No, as Will Nash. Yeah.
Do you know what? I went and saw the new Ant-Man film the other day and enjoyed it. And I know a lot of people now are getting more stronger and jarring views on the MCU as it splits and stuff. But I grew up reading that stuff, and you'd be stupid too. I think anyway, if someone said you want to come and do the next whatever Marvel film, I'd be like, yeah, sure, fine. Like that would be a franchise I would, as well as since that original. You say where do you start the MCU? But like with the Eric Bana Hulks, maybe back from then,
right.
That's how long I've been heavily invested. Well, even the 70s Spider-Man series. Did you ever watch those ones?
The animated series?
No, the live action one would you'd be climbing the side of the wall, but they'd film it flat, so it would just look like it was.
I've definitely seen like clips of them. But no, I don't.
And the old
I don't know.
Hulk TV series used to be on at the weekends. Yeah, and that used to terrify me. So the whole thing, like on screen and in the books, has been so sort of ingrained in me that would definitely be a series that I would jump at.
What superhero out of Marvel is your favorite, or who would you be like? That'd be a movie I'd take part in.
I want to say Spider-Man is one of my favorites, but it has been done so heavily that I would want to veer off from it. My eldest is really heavily into Miles Morales' Spider-Man at the moment, like loves him, loves the whole Spider-Verse thing, and I love that's burst everything open. So, but from that Spider-Verse first film, Peter B. Parker, the sort of guy who's lost his way and he's out of shape, he's split ways with Mary J, and that would be.
Oh no, that's not Nicolas Cage.
If I did Spider-Man.
Do you know in Into the Spider-Verse, Nicolas Cage was him, was he?
The film noir Spider-Man.
That's film noir, but you're talking. Who was the other guy? God, he was someone else.
It's the guy from
Jake Johnson.
Not Jake Johnson. Hold on. It's he was in Jurassic World and.
I have to look for this.
Oh yeah, Jake Johnson. It is. Yeah. Sorry.
Was it Jake Johnson?
Yeah,
Yes.
Jake Johnson.
Fantastic.
He was great.
He's a good actor, yeah.
But equally, would love to...
would you do someone
was
from
never a
the
big Iron Man.
Spider-Verse? Or not from the
Someone else.
Spider-Verse, but like, we'll say Venom or who else? One of his collection of villains.
Yeah, that could be possibly. Just trying to think about anyone else in the MCU who... I mean, Thor and Iron Man, I never really knew too much. Like, I read a bit about them when I was growing up, but never too much. And then Iron Man, Thor for a while, I really enjoyed him on screen. And Iron Man is just like every Robert Downey Jr. incarceration of that character has been fantastic. I would do Batman coming into the MCU.
You do Batman coming into the MCU?
There was a great book I read when I was a kid. It was Marvel versus DC, and it was like a clash of the two universes coming together. And you had these mixes of Batman and Wolverine became a character, and Superman and Captain America became a character. I would love to go into that, do it as an animation as well, just so you can avoid like the whole clash of like what are you going to cast for all of these things, because no one wants.
That's fair. Yeah.
I would go for it as an animation and just go down that route and just find the funnest characters out of that book series and recreate that.
So the oh God, I mean, who owns them? The Warner Brothers and Disney have come together. They're in a bit of financial panic because all their investors have seemingly lost all their money every time they go to your island. So they figure you must know what we're doing. So they actually come to you and they say, look, Willy the Dick, we were hoping that you would direct and really lead the team here on this new movie where we're going to combine all these characters. You've read the comic. Would you agree to that? Would you be like, yeah, I'm on it?
Yeah, and I think as Willy the Dick, the resulting film that they would get would just be Spider-Pig doing a dance for 20 minutes after I take the money.
Okay, so they provided you with...
So they give me the license for all their characters across all of it, and no one can touch these characters for a good 10 years. And
so wait, they give you... Is that how movies work? So they give you the copyright for 10 years, saying, make us a movie, make us a trilogy if you can.
That would be part of my agreement as Willy the Dick.
Oh, okay. And here's 800 million for the first movie, and then you're just straight on back to them with 20 minutes of him dancing.
Yeah, just having a dance.
And is there any reason why you just decided that? Was it just to keep the money?
Yeah, because I'm Willy the Dick. I'm a tyrant.
Can I suggest, and I'll be honest, I'm speaking to Willy and Will on this one.
He's here and I'm here.
Yeah. Do you think that it's a bit worrying that it's in a way it's a bit worrying that you were given the hypothetical situation where you were offered the chance to direct possibly the thing you've always dreamed of directing, and you decided, yes, I can take the money. You decided to do a producers on it and fuck them over as quick as you could. Any bit of it's a bit weird that my mind went straight to that.
I like Willy the Dick is very proud of himself right now that's where he came out with, whereas Will Nash is furious that he's stuck in the back head of Willy the Dick with no control of him going, come on, man, this is what you would have loved doing this, and you've just done a 20-minute, admittedly probably one of the best 20 minutes in cinematic history.
So you spent
a chunk of money's been spent on it, it looks great. The animation quality is fantastic. It's like The Masked Singer. You don't know who it is that's playing Spider-Pig.
Who is?
And that'll be kept secret for the 10 years, and then it'll be revealed at the end of the contract. And it will be someone completely unexpected, someone outside of the acting community, I think, just to really throw people off. It'll be like people trying to guess the next James Bond. You can never guess it.
I would like to say, but I mean, who are we kidding? That's not going to happen. But I would love to say that this podcast runs for 10 years quite successfully, and in 10 years I go, I want to know an answer now.
Who was it? Yeah.
Who was it? Now. And you have to give an answer. Either that or you're legally obliged to give me all your money. Okay, let's say it's recorded. Let's say that happens.
Yeah.
But
in 10 years' time, in 2033, if the planet isn't on fire.
Even if it is, I still want
Even
an
if
answer.
it is, call me up.
No
you
excuse.
can hear my house burning in the background. Your house will be burning in the background.
That's
Will,
fine.
before my house collapses, who was it? It was the guy from Go Compare out of that.
Will, don't worry. I have a mobile phone. I just walked outside the house. I have all the time.
Oh, yeah,
tell me who it is. Don't worry about it. But so you presented him with this fantastic 20-minute dance number instead of a grand epic first part of a trilogy. And now the executives are a bit confused because you seem to be having a Gollum Smeagol moment as Willy the Dick and Will Nash have an argument. So that's how you do that, and then you leave, take the money.
And I think with the money, I would have dug up enough dirt on both sides so that they can't complain about it.
Right. Yeah, you don't
be like, oh shit, he knows the secret about the holidays.
Is there any end goal to the robbing of rich people and then kicking them off the island, or is it just
I think it's just it's like a Robin Hood fetish, isn't it? You just could be construed at times as being a bit Robin Hood-esque, but actually it's just this guy's being a dick.
I think I've realised as well while I was asking that question, you could point the very same question back to every single billionaire, where you say, is there any point to what you're doing where you amass a load of money doing these things?
Yeah.
What is the point of it? So yes, fair enough. I retract that question. I do have two questions for this podcast. One of them is, it's going to be your birthday soon, so people do want to celebrate you. You've handled the vegan sausage gate very well. And the movie, I mean, the fact that you've got a lot of money.
The movie franchise that was just one.
Yeah. What can they do to celebrate you on your day, a very special day? What celebrations do we have?
Good question. It's my birthday's not far off as well, so it's almost like, what do I want to do this year? Man, do you find as you get older, like answering what you want to do for your birthday just gets harder and harder? Like it's just
for me, yes. My fiance, no. It's getting easier and easier.
Like I spoke to my mum the other day. Hers is in 2 weeks, and I said, "Oh, is there anything you want?" And she went, "I don't want anything, and don't even send me flowers this time." And I was like, "Wow, we can't even do that anymore. That's gone. That's eradicated." She's beyond fed up with getting presents and gifts. Like, we'll give her a card. Otherwise, she'll be like, "Well, they didn't get me anything." But so I would say, no. Do you know what I would say? I would have like a rock festival on JimmyRig.
On one of the boats.
Yeah, I bring over a collection of some of my favourite rock and roll artists over time,
such as,
or what's left of them. Muse, Queens of the Stone Age, Foo Fighters would be a good play. Would be the opening acts.
Yes. Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Chili Peppers, they could come over as well. It'd be like a 3-day festival as well, and every day would finish at about 10
in the morning.
In the evening.
Oh, okay.
It wouldn't be great. Like, I'm getting older. So it would be, start just after lunch, finish around 10. Everyone has a good time.
So wait, what, like 2 o'clock till 10?
Yeah, 8 hours a day.
That? Yeah. In bed by 10 past 10.
Exactly. So you've got enough energy for the next day of the festival.
Who is playing first on the first day and who's playing last on the last day? How are we opening and closing this?
I'd probably put the Foo Fighters at the end.
Yeah.
To finish it off after seeing them multiple times. Like, they're definitely been very hard to top off. Who would start? I'd probably open with like an older band from my teens. Maybe like, do you know 100 Reasons? Maybe we could start with someone like that.
I feel like I've heard that. Like, I've heard a song for them, so I know 100 Reasons. Do they have a famous song? Or, well, I mean, sure they have.
Probably not.
Oh, maybe they're bad. No, but
100 or Reef. Do you remember Reef? They were like,
I am
like the noughties.
I am extremely bad with music, by the way. So, I'm clinging on here. But yes, I think I've heard of Reef, but I'll say that.
Maybe check in some other genres of music as well. Like, I'd get Hans Zimmer to come and do a set for 2 hours.
That'd be nice, yeah.
Just to chill out and have that for an afternoon.
What about, I quite like Junkie XL, actually. Anything I've heard from him.
Yeah.
I've been fairly impressed with it. He did a lot of Batman vs Superman, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
I think he did. But yeah, no, straight up rock concert. And is there any bootings happening at that time, or?
If people start really messing up their sets, then it's a bit of a disappointment that I've got this 3-day weekend lined up for people. They could, that could happen.
I meant the like audience or the people who live there. I didn't expect. Yeah. Okay. So there's still full on effect.
Yeah, I think the same for the audience as well. I mean, we'd sell tickets for it, so people could come to JimmyRig and come and experience being, on the island for a bit. But then also, if there's any sort of foul play or behaviour or anything like that, straight off. Even if people are just being a bit obnoxious by, tall people standing in front of short people in the crowd.
Right.
That could be a warning offence. That could just be, the shorter person was asking you to move and you didn't move. And on my island, I'd be like, well, we can get rid of that. As opposed to being in a real festival where sometimes that never gets resolved and then you're just stuck. And I wouldn't want to put too much pressure on the artists. So maybe it wouldn't be something that would be said to them before they arrive. It would just be a notion that we'd be very lenient with them. Could be a bit of jet lag from flying over. They want to do a good set, but if things really start going down the pan, then
they have to be put in line. I guess though, the first person who gets booted off, the first musician, is really going to like worry the rest of them anyway into getting in line.
Well, we'd wait until the end of each day.
Ah, okay, that is nice.
Again, I want to be mindful of the other artists and not put them off, because I don't want to ruin the weekend for everyone else. Otherwise, it's almost like a self-booting, which would never happen. But
do you have Foo Fighters playing more than one night?
No, I'd give them the headliner at the end.
Oh, I just thought like if you.
But they could come along for the weekend.
I thought they would be performing on the first night and then the third night, and then what happens if you boot one of them off on the third night? What do they do?
Oh, I see.
But no, you've solved that. Okay.
And I think what I do is invite all the bands from the get-go as well. And if there's ever any inkling that they want to join another one on stage,
yes,
that can go well. If it's a terrible idea, then and they've already done their set, then it's gone. I'll always wait until they've done their set, because I don't want that annoyance of, well, now we've got a 2-hour gap because we booted the band off before they started. Like, I don't want any of that. I don't want any fuss. I want to relax for this weekend. But
so if you have Foo Fighters there and suddenly you see Mick Hucknell sprinting up to the stage, are you grabbing him, or are you saying, "Oh, how about
it"? I want to see what he did.
Oh, he went onto the drums immediately.
Yeah, I want to see. Is he going to fuck it up, or because you never know. It could be this golden moment of music history where Mick Hucknell drummed with the Foo Fighters and turned out he was absolute tits of the drums.
Yeah, spoiler on this, he kills it. He absolutely savages the whole thing.
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah, that's your birthday. That's your birthday. Yeah,
that his drummer in the band when he was in Simply Red was actually the singer, but they just fool people. So he can't actually.
Oh, it was a gag. It was a gag, and that's why he thought this would be funny if I sprint up there. And he thought, you know who loved this? Willy the Dick. He will be ready to boot me, and then he will be like, well, gosh, don't I feel like a darn fool?
Totally.
And Mick Hucknell, I presume he's welcome on board now in general, right?
I mean, if he gets the ticket, he can come along.
Ah, okay, yeah.
And there won't be extortionate prices.
Right.
You don't want to be that guy who...
well, you're going to take their money
sells
anyway.
A Wembley ticket for $4,000 and then it's a half-hour set.
But you're going to take their money anyway at some point.
Yeah, we're taking everyone's money. But,
I think your birthday, I mean, that especially, well, first of all, having a 3-day rock concert, I think everyone is going to be delighted. In general, there should be no reason why they wouldn't. And then the fact that it ended with this big firework display as Mick Hucknell fucking kills it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the greatest birthday ever. How can he
And then he sets
year?
off fireworks, which I didn't know were going to happen.
Oh, he had loads in his back pocket.
Like, he literally sets off fireworks.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know how he didn't lose a hand.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Like, how he got him through customs, which, then is another question for my customs officers of, like, well, how did they get in?
They just tell you Mick Hucknell is a master at so many things. I just would not.
He's very good at up-close magic.
Yeah. He's also actually Billy Connolly.
Yeah.
Never knew it, but he is. He's the same person.
Don't see them both in the same place at the same time.
No. I do have a final question for the Willy the Dick. Is it the Willy the Dick, or is it just Willy the Dick?
No, I think just Willy the Dick, yeah.
Yeah, so Willy the Dick. I'm just wondering, at some point, whether you willingly give it up or maybe you see out your days as Willy the Dick, you're going to have to think of an heir to this place. What's going to happen afterwards? Now, people are asking this, I suppose your advisors, or maybe you just want to make this announcement. Who would you announce as your heir? And I'll just keep a little bit of a rule on this one, that it has to be someone who is currently living. It can't be a cop-out and say you are your great-grandchild.
Okay.
So who would you have as an heir?
See, I was thinking I would kind of do a Wizard of Oz thing where, like, I'd just become a giant floating head after ruling for a while. And then there was this ambiguity of, like, is he even on the boat anymore? Or is he still here?
Right. But so you talk as the floating head, right?
Yeah. And so I could be remotely there. Like, so it would make my reign last longer. But, yeah, needing a successor after that.
So at some point you're going to leave the island anyway. You'll have this floating head.
Yeah.
And then the floating head is going to announce.
Yeah. So the floating head of me would be, that would be my presentation of myself there on the boat for a small while, just to people get accustomed to it, and then not realise that after a while of that happening, I've snuck off.
Do you have just a floating head, or do you have a neck, or do you have shoulders? How far down are we going? Just a head?
I would like a tiny little body underneath that's just
tiny
dangling.
body. You are Brainiac.
Yeah.
Right, Brainiac. Oh,
Well, like, what was his name? Modok? Mordok?
no, that's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
MODOK. Yeah.
Modok, sorry. And it's just him, just, and just these lifeless arms and legs just hanging there.
That's such a
because
horror.
no one's put the animation sequences in for the arms and legs to move.
Oh yeah, it all went for the head. The head is very expressive. They did say that.
Yeah. And last minute I said, "Oh, can you put a body on it?" And they panicked and they just chucked it. They had like a free template from Adobe that they chucked on, but it didn't size up.
The MODOK is an acronym for, well, the M can stand for a few different things, but it's usually the mechanized organism designed only for killing.
Yeah.
So I guess you would be known as WODOK, the Willy organism designed only for killing.
There was a good joke that Paul Rudd did on Ant-Man of saying that there should be an F in there for.
Yeah,
so it should be Wardorf.
It should. So you want to have
Wardorf?
Yeah. No, Wodark, right? For killing.
Yeah, but with an F.
Yeah. So sorry.
But the K would be replaced with the killing would be replaced with kicking because of the boot.
So it's Wardorf.
Yeah.
Wardorf. Yeah. Wardorf.
The floating head of Waldorf.
I mean, I'm obviously I'm generalizing it. Well, generalizing. I'm being very wrong here in saying that it kind of sounds like Vikingish.
Yeah. Oh,
Wardorf.
Like Beowulf.
Yeah. Wardorf.
Yeah.
We can go with that. Yeah. Okay.
Which were, were sailing on the open sea. The Vikings were famous for doing that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it all fits into the theme.
And, the Viking beard's there already.
True. Yeah. So Wardorf announces at some point, because, you kind of realize, wait a minute, I can't live forever here as a floating head. So who would you announce as an heir?
Who would be a good heir? This is who is around at the moment? Well, you'd want to go with someone younger now, so I can stay in for longer.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I don't want to go for someone who's only like 10 years younger than me, because then my reign is going to be cut short quicker.
Why would your reign be cut short quicker?
Well, I'm just worried if there's like any sort of like rebellion, anything rumbling in the bows of the boats that are going to try and take over. Whereas honestly, if I can be there myself for longer,
the way your birthdays are going, nobody's interested in a rebellion.
True.
We will say, so I would say,
and looking the other way from the pork sausages.
They don't even care. They don't even look at sausages anymore. They're too busy looking at Mick Hucknell with a drum set.
They were eating vegetarian hot dogs the whole way through that rock festival, and no one even. In fact, I would imagine at the rock festival, one person was like,
"This is a turnip."
That was the end of their thought process.
Yeah.
They almost thought, "Is there a sausage thing on this?" But no. And then they enjoyed them.
Honestly, we just give them potatoes now and tell them they're sausages, and they just eat them up. No problem.
I used to tell people that when I was younger, I was a lot blonder and had thicker rimmed glasses. So I used to tell people that I was one of the incarnations of the Milky Bar Kid when I was younger. So if they ever bring those commercials back, whoever gets cast for that, I feel will then be in line for the reign of JimmyRig.
So you're the new, surely they'll have someone new. So the first person we see getting that job, we need you. Male
or female, whoever's the next Milky Bar Kid.
You're right, you're gone.
And Jimmy. And, there can be a big reveal thing of like the floating head comes back down onto the stage where the throne is and disappears into this magical CGI effect. And there's the new Milky Bar Kid.
This confused 12-year-old.
Yeah. And comes out of the line, the Milky Bars are on me.
Have they ever had Milky Bars on JimmyRig before? Is that how you're allowing him to? Well, he needs to get
this will be this will be like the coronation ceremony. If you think this year's coronation ceremony is going to be impressive, you should see the JimmyRig coronation ceremonies.
Maybe Milky Bars can be like the white smoke at the Vatican, where it's like, oh my God, they've released the Milky Bars.
There's a new
picked someone. There's a new Willy the Dick.
Yeah.
Okay. I have run out of questions for Willy the Dick. I mean, you live somewhere now nobody knows. Sorry, I broke this. There we go. You do live somewhere now where nobody knows, and I'll say the Milky Bar Kid is now leading this island of, let's face it, pirates. This is the end of the time of Willy the Dick, and Will Nash has escaped his mental prison where he was unable.
No one knew where he's moved off to.
No. I do have to ask, is there any pluggable thingies that you have that you want to mention?
No. Hi.
This is you're on Instagram and Twitter and the likes, aren't you?
It's one of my kids trying to break into.
I'm the heir.
Yeah. All right. Good luck. don't know if you heard that announcement.
I didn't actually hear any of that. No, I didn't.
He's doing a poo. Can I help him?
Good.
We lost me. Oh yeah, any plugins? Me. I am a director. I'm a photographer. Yes. Hire me. I will come and take your photos or come and direct your films. It'll be hilarious. You'll love it.
Yeah, when you say that, like if someone was to say, I would love to work on set with that man, there is actually very little chance that you will rob them of their money and boot them into an ocean.
I mean, if we're filming on a boat and it turns out they've got enough money to fund the rest of the film, then maybe there might be a slight issue with them.
But they can get back on the boat, like, as long as you have their money and you boot them into the water, they can get back.
It would be a boat in a film studio, so it wouldn't be deep water.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, that sounds fine.
Against blue screen.
Cool. Yeah. We are at the end of the show, so I have to thank everyone for listening, and thank you to Will Nash, and maybe slightly less thanks to Willy the Dick. But yes,
I'll get t-shirts printed of Willy the Dick.
Willy the Dick, and no context to it. And I have mentioned that probably there'll be another episode in a week's time. That's the guess right now. That's the plan right now. And finally, just for Willy the Dick, before we go into it, is there any advice he would have given to the island before he left? Any final words? Any last thoughts?
Don't be a dick.
I suppose they can't. Yeah. Because you're the
Because I am the dick.
Yeah.
So there's multiple levels to that. Don't be a dick, but also don't be Willy the Dick because he's already here.
But you don't explain that for you.
No.
Leave. Yeah, good.
It's like one of those action hero sign-offs. Just before he disappears off in the helicopter into the sunset.
So what's the word? Or what's the phrase?
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. And then some people at the back would be like, what did he say? The helicopter's really noisy.
That is very noisy, yeah. But too late. Should have been recorded or something.
He said something about don't, well, we probably shouldn't do something. If he said don't, well, I don't know. People at the front here, people at the front weren't paying attention. So there's just mass confusion.
If it's any consolation, some people actually thought you said don't be an addict. And they've gotten off the drugs, which is nice.
Yeah.
Good.
They've
Unintentionally.
Themselves on.
Yeah, unintentionally solved the crisis there.
Yeah.
Okay. That is actually the end of this podcast. Like.